Today's session is going to be beautiful because now we are getting in, we are sinking our teeth into something important. And I want to tell you how each one of us are badly conditioned with our knowledge. We've heard half of things, right? And based on whatever our belief system is, we're all created some understanding in our head. Okay? So I'm going to today shatter everything for you. And then keep it for you for what you want to do. We say very easily that whatever is happening in our life is coming from our prarabdha. Prarabdha means something we did in the past life. True, it's coming, but we don't know what's coming. Who knows what's going to happen? It is prarabdha, but that prarabdha, it is not told to us what's going to happen. Do we know anything? We just have said prarabdha, but do you know tomorrow what's going to happen? What after 5 years is going to happen? We don't know. So actually, from this moment onwards, the future is a level playing field for you. Because the good news is, you do not know what is written in your prarabdha. And you have been given free will. You have been given all the understanding of life, how it operates. You know what karma has to be done. You know how you need to perform your action. You know what is your path that you have chosen. And you also know that life is here and now in this moment. Future is a fallacy. Future is an illusion. Future does not exist. Everything comes to you in the present moment. So where is the question of any destiny for us? Let me complete. Please do manana on what I'm saying and take it inside. When everything is in this moment, and in this moment what you choose to do is absolutely your free will. By free will you came here. By free will we are sitting here. With free will you ask these questions with me, and with free will I am answering these questions. Yes or no? Yeah? And what will happen is on the basis of what we are going to do now. Yes? Because future is not there. So when you don't know what the future is, when you don't know what prarabdha has put for you, therefore in this moment you are free to do whatever you want to. Right? And whatever is our prompting, all we have discussed so far is listen to the promptings of consciousness and not your mind. Right? And whatever is coming to you through the consciousness, use the mind to execute it perfectly. Has that been understood by everybody? Is it agreed? That's how we operate, right? So when we are always operating out of that, yeah, we are always exercising our free will. Please understand what prarabdha is. Please understand what destiny is. It's a blueprint. But in that blueprint, you have been given the free will to exercise as per what's coming to you. Whatever building you want to create, you can create. You know, an architect makes a blueprint. And in that blueprint, you can decide whether you want to make a house of steel, of sand, of stone, of wood. You want to do a half story, 1 story, 2 story skyscraper. You have that free will. It's just a blueprint. So, at all points of time, is there any time when you don't have free will? You may not have will in the circumstances that you are in, but you have always free will of action. Yeah? Nobody has put a gun on you and saying, no, you can't do this because, it's written in your destiny that tomorrow you have to die. That tomorrow you have to do this because it was written, by somebody, 10 years back. Nobody has told us. Nobody knows it. Yeah? So therefore, at all points of time, you have free will of action. Under the circumstances. Circumstances is what is prarabdha. Okay? Circumstances are prarabdha. They come from your past life. That's what the events are in your life. But you have a right to perform. Anybody who's taken a human form cannot escape action. Which is what Auntie was trying to say. Action has to be performed. Even a person who meditates and sits in a forest is also performing action. So, always deconstruct and test what you have been told. This happens because we do not examine things and we don't go back into the basics. At all points of time, you have a free will to go to the toilet or not. You have a free will to have your cup of tea or not. If you are not hungry, will you eat? Right? If you have diabetes, you should not be having ice cream, but you still ate. You can say that is prarabdha. But actually, you still had the free will, to say no. Right? So at all points of time, we have free will. That's what distinguishes a human being from an animal. So the free will has been given. The guiding principles have been given. Bhagavad Gita gives you the guiding principles. Upanishads give you the guiding principles. And it's only prarabdha only gives you situations and events that will happen. You have to negotiate. You have this steering wheel to kind of move into it. And if you are very clear with how you are driving it, you can change that blueprint also. Because the beauty is, whether it is change or not change, you will never know because you don't know what's scripted there. That is the beauty. You don't know what is scripted for you. Because you don't know it, you always have free will. It's only when we look at the past, we say it was all destined. When we look back at the, back behind our shoulder, or we say the luxury of hindsight. In hindsight, we say that yes, it was all destined. But actually, when you were going through, at that point of time, you did not know this. You actually did what had to happen. So at the point when their uncle and auntie's house caught fire, right? There was a free will. Uncle was using a free will to sit and say, Sai Ram, bye bye. Auntie used a free will to start, calling for help. Yeah, you could have also sat there and said, okay, now time has come. Baba is showing. Sit down, no. So, but you used your free will, yeah, and you changed that course, and a most impossible task happened that he got. But had he decided, no, I'm not going to climb onto the ladder, and had he not used his free will to come down, can anybody would have brought him down? No. So at all points of time, ladies and gentlemen, free will is given to us. Please understand this absolutely. If we had not been given free will, we wouldn't have been given a human form. This is the way we are distinguished by. That's why we are the highest state of consciousness. We come here. The only problem for us has been that we have not read the operating manual of this body and this life. And we don't know how to operate through this life. Uncle, question. The question that Uncle has asked is that if there is free will, then where does astrology come in, where they do the prediction? This is your question? First of all, when I said free will, I said there is a free will of action. At this point, you have free will to act whichever way you want to. Okay, you're having a pain in your leg, you have a free will either to take a medicine or to bear it. Nobody is saying, the astrologer cannot say that you will, have to bear your pain. It's your free will. Free will of karma. It is given to you. Understand what free will, in which context I am saying. And half of you believe in astrology. I have given you example in my life. Whatever astrologers have written in my life has never turned true. Right? Because I have seen in my life when that consciousness came in my path absolutely changed. So I'm a great believer that once you become one with that consciousness, all rules of the game, cease to operate for you, right? Because you're free from all that. So it's just a predictable science, right? It gives you a general this thing. So it is a science which predicts that these are the way that the events can happen. But within that larger set of events, you still have free will of action. Tomorrow, an earthquake happens. You still have a free will. What you will do when that happens, when you are in it. Right? So understand, circumstances, I said, are created through prarabdha and past. But the individual always has free will to perform his or her actions. Clear, uncle?
Now somebody predicted for me a few events from that. And it told me that 70-20% correctly. I haven't gone into so much deep detail. I could predict.
Uncle, how does it matter? I am saying you do not know about that. Right? You don't know about them, no? And you are at all points of time, as you are operating, you're always using your free will. Has it been any time that you were forced to do anything? No. So how can you say? That is a predictive science that they are, doing it. What is the likelihood of you doing? It's a game of probability, right? But even though you did that, but you did have free will to do what you wanted to do. It was not that, you sat back and said, no, it's going to happen to me, I'm not going to do anything.
But I still have to perform.
Of course.
But perhaps those who have written the destiny, he created circumstances that are moving that way.
So that's what I'm saying. The circumstances come, but your actions can change the destiny. It can change the direction. That's what. So that was your question? Everybody was coming to that question.
But should we believe the astrologer?
No. You want to ruin your life? You please go ahead.
And the way they say you do this for all people. We should come.
Auntie, this is for fatalists. This is for people who are weak. I'll tell you when we go to astrologers, when there are problems in our life.
Yes.
We are weak people, I'm telling you. Human beings are very weak people. They don't believe in themselves. They will, believe in an astrologer. They will believe in a stranger. Somebody will say, you eat this, you'll become okay. We are ready to believe that person. We are ready to believe a YouTube video. But we have no confidence in our understanding of this world. Actually, we are very fickle people. Punjabi ch kan de kache. Somebody comes and tells us, let's try it out. I don't know, and there are hundreds and thousands of opinion on health. Everybody is an expert on good health. Everybody is a jnani on, every knowledge of the world. And in India, it is free to give advice. We are all free advisors to everybody. For everything, everybody has an advice. If you start listening to everybody, every guru on YouTube channel is saying different things. Who will you listen to? At one time, I just started to close my ears and say, oh my God, this is so crazy. Should I listen to her, to her, to him? Who do I listen to? I said, sorry. Everybody, of course it has to be contradictory, uncle. You look at how culturally different we are. In religion, there are different, castes. In caste, there are different subcastes. Everybody's belief system are different. Then, in India, there are hundreds of, different ways of looking at it. You go out, the Islamist, within Islamists, there is a Sunni, there is a Shia, there is Ahmadi, there is a this. In Christianity, there are hundreds and hundreds of them. Everybody is looking at it differently. Everybody has a strong belief system. Somebody says, do this mantra. Somebody says, no, I will tell you this, you do this. Somebody says, you cry, it will happen. Somebody says, you laugh, this will happen. When, you say, where does this end? This nonsense. We are forcing belief systems. We are forcing things on, people. And then You try it, it happens, and you start believing in it, and then you get caught in it. And these are the traps. You listen to an astrologer, and half the time, your food will get stuck here, and you say, "Oh my God, this is going to happen." If it is good, we will listen to him. If it is bad, we say it's nonsense. So, and astrologers we go to only when we are having a tough time. Let's get it checked. Let's figure out what's going on. Yeah, that is when we start getting into these people. Maybe they have an idea, and that is why they give you, they give you upayas. If they were, that if they were the remedy, then why the hell did they create destiny for you? So it's good. No, it feels nice. Okay, I've gone. I've got to know. Now I have done a yagna or a puja or a this. To me, this is for those people who are ignorant, who do not understand what this is about. Those who have clarity of life I can only say from my personal experience, you can change your destiny. You can.
I think major points are divided by this. Like our coming here. But how to come as a Vistara, Air India, Go Airways, that is my thing. That's what I think. But coming here was tested.
How?
Because
why was it tested?
I took the ball anywhere else.
No, uncle. No. Yeah, no. That's why I'm saying. In past, when you sit back, I'm so sorry. I don't agree with you. I just said the same thing. With the luxury of hindsight, you can say, "Oh, it was prarabdha." But at that moment, you decided. You had, many temptations. At that time, I'm not feeling well. I am this. My house has. You had many reasons where you wanted to say no, right? But you used your free will to come here. I don't agree with this. See, this prarabdha and this destiny is a science of explaining the past. But wherever we have a choice, you chose to come to this retreat. Okay? Uncle, auntie, they chose to come here. She could have, there were many doubts, but finally she chose to come here. Right? GVP sir underwent, knee surgery. But he decided that I'm going to come. And I said, oh, it's going to be, challenging, because knee surgeries, people take long time to recover. This is miraculous. His is a miraculous case. I've never seen anybody, like this. So this is miracle. And he chose to come. His wife said she's not coming. He went and left her to Puttaparthi, but he chose to come. So I am saying we are given a choice. Later on, we can always say, actually at the end of your life, you can always say everything was predestined. But it is in hindsight. That's what I'm saying. When you are living your life, at that point of time, we have free will. Have you not understood what I said? All your circumstances are the big switch. I have said that, You're not listening what I'm telling you. All the circumstances that are coming to you are the big switches. But in that circumstance, what you are going to do is a free will. This is how it plays. There is, it's like I give you the example. When you knit a fabric, right? Any cloth, there is one thread comes like this, one thread comes like this. It's called the warp and the weft. Tana and Bana, right? And this Tana and Bana is destiny, free will. They together make it. It is not one way. If there was no free will, then we would have been all handicapped people. Everybody would be, in an old age home where Luca is, and there will be somebody else looking after us. It's not like that. This is how. It's a balance between the two. And that's what makes life so interesting. Otherwise, if there was no free will, what was the use of being here? So it's very, and that's why I say that the beauty about prarabdha is you don't know anything about it. It just happens. What is in store for us in future, we don't know.
I was asking how is choiceless awareness and when you surrender to consciousness similar to free will?
How is choiceless awareness similar to free will? What's your question?
Just say surrender to when you're surrendering consciousness, then how is it similar to you? Is there any similarity there? Because then we are not using our mind.
No, we are not using our mind anymore. Please don't confuse your mind with consciousness. You are surrendering your mind. Mind is not will. The will power we talk of is not the mind power. Mind is the intelligence power. But the will power, Atma Shakti we say. In English, in Sanskrit, it is Atma Shakti. It is not, what do you call mind in English, in Hindi? Man Shakti or whatever, right? It is Atma Shakti. Power of the will, it is the power of consciousness. That is the power, which you are talking of.
Yeah, it's on top of everything. On top of every decision. We are God.
Yeah. And that's where the whole answers we are looking at this debate from a mind standpoint. Actually, this whole debate becomes redundant. All questions just fall like this when we understand that we are consciousness. These are all questions of mind, where the mind and body is separate as an individual entity. But the minute you understand that you're an Atman, and that's what I want to tell you, when I said that when you become one with consciousness, your destiny changes. You just move. Because you are now not operating at the mind-body level to which your samskaras and your prarabdhas are stuck. From a one consciousness level, all this are not operating. Remember, somebody asked that question. So if I am the creator, what was your question again?
I said if everything is already, then
how am I the creator?
How I?
That is how it is. When I have come in, see, with these circumstances, the circumstances in our life come from our prarabdha. Okay? So they are giving me the circumstances of which family I am born in. Right? What are the circumstances of my family going to be? Is it a rich family, poor family? Do I have, all my body parts are okay? I am healthy, unhealthy. I have some handicaps, right? So that circumstances are beyond my control. So I've come in with this kind of circumstances. And then as I start to negotiate through this playing field, I have been given free will to negotiate that. And as I start negotiating it, my goal is to experience that consciousness. My goal is to experience that I am not this body or the name. I am actually that consciousness which is the Paramatman. That is my goal. The minute I reach this goal, all these become inapplicable to me because I have broken because all my prarabdha is sticking to my body. It is sticking to my past till I have realized one consciousness. The minute my rocket has moved beyond the gravity of the mind and reached that point, all this is no longer applicable to you. Right? That is why when we die, what happens when we die? Our mind is still going with us. And they say that the mind is actually put into a kind of a vault. Right? We become one with consciousness, we have no mind, we just become one with the source. And as soon as, because the mind still has some desires, it still has some things that it has to rework, when we come back, the mind comes back and gets attached to us. Right? So how will you lose the mind? When you become on this planet. That's why the Devtas, the Indra also has to come here. He also has a mind with which he is working. To lose the mind completely, he has to do it here. And then all that was sticking on because of that falls away. It's like when a rocket is launched, there are supports that are holding the rocket. Right? When the countdown happens, 10, 8, 9, 7, 6, 5, 0, and we say lift off. When the lift off happens, those things fall back. So all these are stuck onto us because we are still operating out of the mind. The minute we lift it becomes gone. So in one consciousness, when we become that, we become the creator because now we are part of the creation. Before I came, when I was in one consciousness, sorry, absolutely. So in both ways. So when you are in a bodiless state of one consciousness, that is before birth, you are already creator. You have signed on your blueprint and you said, okay, this time I'm coming. These are my prarabdha. I'm going to, using these circumstances, I am going to achieve this consciousness on that planet. Okay. So I come here. So even my, what you call it, so-called destiny or blueprint has been created by me as a creator. I have signed it off. I have come. So there at that place, I have signed off. I have come here in this planet. In this planet, when I am coming at all points of time, other than the circumstances in which I am born, as I continue, I always have free will of action, or till the child, when the parents take decisions for you, you don't have a free will, right? But little bit as you grow up, when you go into youth avastha, you have free will. Parents are no longer taking decisions for you. They say, go, decide for yourself. That is when free will starts to come in. And then you're using your free will to get out of the clutches of this destiny. And the minute you do, the minute you are able to finish this game, solve this jigsaw puzzle, then they all start to, they are like those menkas which are troubling you, all those things that are tempting you, suddenly all this becomes inoperable. So that is how the game is played.
Why using the free will?
Aji?
Why using the free will?
You are a creator, absolutely. So even there you are a creator in before birth, even after birth you are a creator. So therefore your understanding, your being one with the creator and creation is always in this plane of in this dimension, in that dimension, the dimension before, the dimension here, and the dimension hereafter. Before birth, after birth, and after death. फिर वापस आएगा, वो डेस्टिन हो गया अगली बारी के लिए. मैंने आपको बोला था ना, it is a word that I use, and it is in Atma Chalisa also, that later on you realize the reason why you should be laughing as he laughs is that in the end you realize this life is a hoax. I've used this word many times. HOAX. पंजाबी कहते ने शुदाई बनाया. और कबीर का दोहा है ना, आंटी इज एन एक्सपर्ट ऑन कबीर. वो बोले ना, उड़ जाएगा हंस अकेला, जग दर्शन का मिला, जैसे पाक उड़े तरवर से, लग गया पवन का रेला, ना जाने कहां गिरेगा, ना जाने कहां गिरेगा, लग गया पवन का रेला. That when the leaf becomes dry on the tree and the gust of wind comes, this gust will take the leaf where the leaf does not know where it's going to fall. It's in the hands of the wind, and the wind will take you. He does not know the leaf does not know whether it's going to fall next to the tree, whether it's going to fall in the pond or the lake nearby, or he's going to fall in the neighbor's garden, or another gust of wind will take somewhere else. He doesn't know. He just has left it and he said, I surrender, you take me where you want to take. And when we completely surrender to free will, then in any case, to what we call as consciousness, then we have become one with the Creator in any case. Then we are merging. And I'll give you another example. Teresa is on the call. So Teresa came on our Saturday satsang for the first time. None of us had ever seen, Teresa, and she came on the call, and we had our session. And during the session, sometimes I see, people's faces, and I saw a new face that I'd never seen before, and this face was crying all the time. And then experience sharing session started, and then also this person was just crying. So, of course, naturally the curiosity went, and I asked her, who are you? Because, on Zoom you can see the name. So there was a name, Teresa, and there was a face over there. Okay. So I asked, hello, Teresa, who are you? Please, can you introduce yourself? And then she spoke to us, right? And she had just heard about, and she had seen some videos, and she got on the call. And then I instinctively felt, I used my free will to tell Teresa that, Teresa, why don't you come to India? I'm holding a retreat. And she says, when are you having this retreat? So it was less than 30 days away. So she says, where? I said, in Rishikesh. She says, no, how is it possible? How can I come to India in 30 days? I don't even know you guys, like that. But of course, in 3 days, she did use her free will. I used my free will to invite her. She used her free will to accept it. She booked her tickets. She, applied for visa. It's all free will, right? And ultimately, she came here. And when she was booking her tickets, by that time we had just done maybe one more or two more satsangs. So I told her, so, you get a 3 months visa. So I said, Teresa, you coming for 3 months? Why don't you take a return ticket after 3 months? Of course, she thought, no, how can I take 3 months? I don't even know these guys. So she took a 20 days or 21 days, return ticket. And of course, as things happened, she had to cancel her ticket, and she went only after 3 months, right? Now, you could say that, I knew, but at all points of time, free will was exercised. Okay? So, but in the hindsight, now we can say very easily that it was destined for her to come, because the transformation she's had, that she's become an essential part of our family, and that she has got, there has been such transformation that she's actually authored a book now about, her experiences. So now you can say, it was destiny. But had she not, I told her and Denise both, these experiences are life-changing and something big is happening. Please write what's happening. You are the first 2 people who have come here. And so many miracles are happening. Please write them down. Because this is going to be invaluable for all those people who are going to come. There are hundreds and thousands who are coming. For them, you will be doing a seva. Right? She has used her free will to go back and write her book. Now you can say very easily later on, it was destined, after some 1 year you will say, it was destined that, Teresa had to write this book and, it became such a big seller. But right now when she's doing it, does she know anything? No. She doesn't know what's going to happen to her book. She did not know when she's writing, when it is going to come. She still doesn't know on which date it's going to be published. So you don't know anything. That's what I'm saying. The beauty of this life on this planet is that you don't know anything. And at all points of time, you are using your free will to do something. That's what is, so beautiful. If you knew everything, what was the use of doing anything? And you would just sit over there. Baba, it's going to happen only, no? So there is this play of destiny and free will, and you choose to do it. And the flip side. So I'm going away from your questions. I want to also, because I've done a couple of videos on free will and destiny. So I just want to add one more thing. Ultimately, the circumstances whichever way. It's like the red pill and the blue pill. If you don't do a particular thing that we are supposed to do, after some time, another circumstance will come which will again give you that choice. Right? It's like a little long rope you are given. But it will keep trying to prompt you, because by that time you would have realized you made a wrong decision. Right? And the next time the choice comes to you, you're ready to grab it. Yeah? So this is how it plays. It kind of, guides you. So it's very interesting whether you do it. So when truly free will, if you were to ask me what truly free will is when knowing everything without getting tempted by the decisions of your action, you will take the right path. Right? That is free will. That is true free will. Because when you choose not to do it yourself, then God comes and gives you. This I were onto astrologers and all that. Because what happens is when we don't listen to what we as a creator have decided. Because remember, the one who kicks you is nobody else other than you. Who's bringing you all these troubles is nobody else other than you. Remember, that's why I say at one consciousness level, actually there is you only. You are the one who's creating the destiny. You are the one who is trying to do free will. You are in Nirvana Shatakam we say that na punyam na papam na sakhyam na dukkham na mantro na tirtham na veda na yagna aham bhojanam naiva bhujyam na bhukta. That means all the three sides, the experience, the experiencer and the experienced, are all the same. That means I am the maker of the food, I am the eater of the food, and I am the digester of the food. Everything is a one. It's only one. At all three sides, there may be three characters, but they are actually one. When somebody said, no, instead of this, I am offering this to you, I could have either fought and said, no, I want this only. I have paid you, I am legally right. Right? Or, I don't like this one, show me something else.
After the two, what it is.
See? This is that understanding you get. You're always having free will under the larger setup, and you can change it whichever way. That time, in that moment, you have the decision for the red or the blue pill. So in that moment, you always have a free will. But in the hindsight, when you look back, you'll always realize it was only destiny. That is it. Yeah, or kya? Destiny डाल दो. So that's why we say be in the creator's driving seat and be in control, and don't put it onto destiny. It's very easy in the past, to look at it, it was all destiny. But every time you had a choice. You were given this choice. That's why I love this movie, Matrix. Matrix as a movie everybody should watch if you want to understand how beautifully somebody can put Vedanta and philosophy into such a thriller and make millions and millions of dollars. It's creativity. Very beautiful.